Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the HalfGen podcast. Every week I've been trying to change it up, and I'm just like, you know what? This week, just stick to what works. It's the HalfGen podcast. I'm Chris, and I'm joined, as always, by two of my favorite people in the world, Ross and Nat. How you guys doing today?
I'm okay. Just chillaxing, trying to take it easy.
Yeah, I'm tired for no reason, which is always cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm tired for no good reason.
That's true.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're here. So, like, what was it, Ross? 20 minutes ago? 30 minutes ago? That I had the thing that I told you about?
Oh, yeah.
It was like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, my PC, I've been having this weird issue where it happens a lot in Destiny. I'll be playing, and sometimes I can play an hour, sometimes I can play 2 hours, and sometimes I can play 12 minutes. But what it'll do is it'll just like seemingly like crash my GPU driver or whatever. You hear like the USB disconnecting stuff, and then all of a sudden, game won't work, which means I have to restart my PC to get it to work. Which in a lot of cases I'm not going to do because I'm streaming or whatever. So it happened today while I was using the Elgato to stream. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to crack it open and, my PC, see if anything's loose maybe or something's weird. So I shut everything down, turn it all off, open it up, blast it with the, with the blowy. And everything looks fine. Okay. Like, I don't see anything wrong. And I'm like, I'm looking at my BIOS. I'm like, I don't really want to change anything because it's not like the PC's not working. Like I was thinking about maybe changing the PCI slot to Gen 4 and, see if that, what the hell just happened there?
Good.
Is Nat here?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay. Whoa. That was weird.
No.
We lost Nat's video for a second.
Oh, he's back.
I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, I know. We lost your video for a second. It was weird. So I'm like, nah, I don't want to change that. Not yet. Not unless it keeps happening and it's really annoying. So I go to turn on my PC again. And normally, like, next to the RAM, like, everything's turning on. All the lights are on and everything. And there's these lights. There's like a white, a green, a red, and an orange. And so I'm booting. It goes to orange. And it just hangs on orange. And, a couple seconds go by. Everything's still running. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just slow boot. I don't know. Keeps holding orange. Minute goes by, still holding orange. And I'm like, okay, maybe Mr. Blowy knocked something loose. So I'm going in, I'm checking all my connectors, powering it down first, obviously. Put it back up. Nothing. Hangs on orange. I'm like, okay. Start Googling. Can't really find anything exactly like what I'm talking about. It's just a lot of people who are like, hey, my PC won't boot or whatever. I'm like, no, I have this very specific thing. And then like somebody links to the manual, but it doesn't link directly to the manual. So I can't find this. And finally, after Googling, I find someone with my exact issue. They're like, yeah, everything was working perfectly fine. And then all of a sudden it just stopped working. And everybody, now it's on the orange light and everybody's like, okay, so it could be a dead capacitor in your motherboard. It could be your power supply. It could be, they're listing all these things. You might need to reinstall Windows, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, fucking hell, I do not want to do that. What the hell just happened? Is he okay? Oh, there he is.
He's back.
I was like, what the hell? How you doing? You good?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just making sure. So I'm scrolling through this thread, and this guy, the guy who posted it is like, yeah, I tried all these things and nothing's working. I can't even get it. And somebody's like, hey, you might have to roll back your BIOS. He's like, I can't even get to the BIOS. And I see this reply, and it just says, figured it out. Power cable was loose. I'm like, there's no fucking way, right? There's no fucking way. So I go in, unplug it, plug it back in, still no boot. I'm like, motherfucker, one more time.
loose on
I
the other
unplug
end.
it. Huh?
Loose on the other end.
That's what I checked. So this time I double checked on that side. I unplugged it. I plugged it back in. I took it out on the PC end and I didn't like jam it in, but I put it in and then I made sure to like make sure every little bit of it was in. Turn on my PC. Fucking white, orange, green boot. Just goes. Starts off with the advanced megatrends, everything like it's a first boot. I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Miracle.
Like, how the fuck? How many times do I need to plug this thing in before it's like, okay, now this time was right? Like, that is the most stupid bullshit thing. Like, God, I'm telling you, like, if it wasn't someone, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, just me, but like, if I didn't have the patience to keep trying that or to look for that, nobody's going to think that's the problem with their PC. Nobody's going to think that the power cord that looks very clearly fully connected is the issue. And that's how fucking stupid PCs can be sometimes.
I'm not gonna hold you. That's the first. That's like, if not the first thing. Like as soon as I shut it down, I check that immediately, just because. Like, I feel like that's been the problem with like dumber things. You know what I mean? So,
but like, what? Like in my mind, why am I checking when my fans are running, everything's lit up, the PC is working? My first thought is something inside is wrong, because of course that thing is good. All I did was unplug it and plug it back in. That's the first thing. And now, of course, that's going to be the one thing I check for every time, because I'm going to be like, motherfucker.
All it takes is that
My
one
God.
time,
Yep.
It's always something else. It's always something else. And I love PCs and I love like troubleshooting. And like, sometimes when it's a stupid thing, it's like, okay, at least it's easy to fix. But something like that just pisses me off. Because I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well,
Like it just cannot be more in than it is. And it's just like, no, but like, I really got to just be in.
yeah. Well, at least you avoided a potential catastrophic hardware failure.
Yeah, no, it was not going to be good.
Yeah.
It was not going to be good if that couldn't boot, because then I can't record. I mean, I probably could have done it on my laptop, but it's like, it just becomes this nightmare scenario of like, oh my God, what is wrong with this? And then it becomes, oh my God, can I even get replacement parts?
Right. Yeah. Especially right now.
Like, if it's something where it's like, it's my GPU and EVGA is like, okay, well, can you test it like this? No, I can't. Nobody can get a fucking graphics card, my guys.
It's very true.
It's like, how am I supposed to have another GPU? I barely got this one.
Oh, God.
But anyway, that was my mini panic attack today, dealing with my PC. But otherwise, I'm gonna show the. Flex it. Hold on. I'm trying to unplug it.
Don't do it. It's not gonna work anymore.
Your computer's going to crash. I don't know what you're messing with.
I had some life troubleshooting.
So I finally decided to just go all the way.
I see you decided you didn't like money.
you chose against money.
I chose the path of least financial stability. I got a Series X because I enjoyed my Series S enough. Like, just the Series S was the most fun I had with an Xbox since like the original 360. Just like using it, experiencing it. It was great. To the point where I was like, you know what? I should just get the better one, because I'm confident now, more so than I was with like the Xbox One X. I'm confident that I'll actually use it. Because like the big thing I got the S for was for like the backwards compatibility stuff. So I really wanted that. But now like with all these Game Pass exclusives and all that, and it's just like, at a certain point, it's probably just worth it to have the one with like the disk drive and stuff. So, because then I can get cheaper games, like older games if I want. And the fact that my library carries over so much, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I got it on Xbox All Access. So I got it for a low monthly fee. I like the green in there.
Yeah,
You can see all the
like
way
that
through
touch.
that thing. You can see
Yeah.
all the way. That's kind of crazy. I see you.
It's great for our audio listeners.
I see you. I'm looking through the whole end to end. I see Ross.
He's looking through the universe right now.
I'm looking through the entire Xbox universe. It's very green on the other side.
When you were just tilting it, you could see almost all the way through, and then never again. Then you just nope, never again. Nope, you're not.
Why never again?
Because I don't know. Whatever it was, that it lined up perfect, and you could see right through, and never again.
I mean, this thing's kind of a crazy piece of hardware, though. Like when you think about it, it's crazy that they put all that in this.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, a lot of junk inside that trunk.
I got to set that up, and then I got to give Ross my Series S.
Your humps.
So
Your
we will be Xbox
humps.
boys again.
Huh? Check it out.
Wait, what?
I was just continuing all that junk inside that trunk. I said, "You gonna give him your lovely lady lumps?"
Oh, he already has
them. That's all I know. All I know how to do is give my lovely lady lumps.
We trade lovely lady lumps.
What the fuck?
It's what friends do.
Yeah, you know.
It's only weird because you've never had somebody willing to trade their lovely lady lumps with you. All right, like it's not weird when you do it. It's just you got to just get to that point where you feel comfortable with somebody.
But yeah, so I'm buying Chris's Series S off of him. So because I've been trying to play stuff like Outriders on Xbox One, and it runs really bad on Xbox One.
Mm-hmm. It runs really bad on PS5 as well. I mean, logging in runs really bad.
Yeah.
Characters go invisible for whole sections of the game.
Ross, I just realized you're recording this week with your 2020.
You recorded last week with it too.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Yep,
I thought you used the mod mic last week.
No, you didn't.
If it wasn't last week, then I used this the week before.
I wasn't here the week before, so it couldn't have been the week before.
Huh.
Because it doesn't have Audacity messing with whatever, so...
No, fair enough. I just looked over and realized, because I was like, Ross sounds a little different, not in a bad way, but I was like, Ross sounds a little different. I'm like, oh shit, he's using his other mic.
That's why I've been talking to you all day. It's this mic.
Yeah, no, this is the first time I saw you on camera, so I didn't think about it until I looked over. I'm like, wait a minute, where's the thing?
But yeah, Outriders takes forever to log in anywhere. I think from dashboard to boot on Xbox One right now, I haven't actually timed it, but I think it's
10 minutes minimum.
It feels like
it's not that
minutes.
fast on
no,
PC.
It's legit 10 minutes.
I have mine on NVMe, and
I couldn't log in for like the first 20 times, and it was like, hey, please give it at least 10 minutes. And so I set a timer, and it dead went for like 10:53.
Yeah,
before it logged me in.
I think mine was taking like legit 5 or 6 minutes, and then once you get in the game on Xbox One, it's the frame rate hovers in the low to mid 20s a lot of the time. So I was just like, I'm getting more into Game Pass and using it more. I'm a big like physical game collector.
Is Outriders on Game Pass?
Yeah. Console Game Pass. Yeah. So I was like, I'm a big physical game collector, but like at the same time, I'm gonna be playing most multiplats like on PlayStation anyway, and all the first party stuff is gonna be day and date with Game Pass, and we're gonna get crazy third party stuff day and date in Game Pass, like MLB the Show. So it's like for this one, like at some point I might upgrade to the Series X down the line, but for right now, I just need it to run games better. So yeah, I'm buying Chris's Series S off of him.
Nice.
We can play Outriders and stuff and not have me hate every second of it because of how badly it runs and looks.
Yeah, no, that was the one thing is I had no complaints about how it ran on the Series S.
I wonder if we can play together because you're playing on Xbox, I'm playing on PS5. And it says there's crossplay with PC, but it doesn't specify.
There's crossplay with everybody right now.
Okay.
Yeah, crossplay with everyone.
Everything should be working right now. So yeah, the three of us could play together.
Yeah, there was an issue between console and PC for a little while, but that's been resolved since then. So all the crossplay we should all be able to play together, which would be sick. Nice. I might need to try to get my hands on Series S before the Mass Effect weekend. because I want to play Outriders. So I
I
might
mean,
try to find
I
the
can
time.
send it to you. We just got to figure out the shipping situation for that.
Yeah, I might just run down for a weekend. Or, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yep, we'll figure it out. It's it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, I'm very excited.
Nice. I had some life troubleshoot stuff this week.
Oh yeah,
Go on.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with video games. Right?
Perfect.
But you want to know? So my friend Christian says I have a lot of gnat complaints that nobody else has, and I'd like to tell you guys about this one.
I like that. Yeah,
and
please do.
It's the fact that there's so much advertising for Ruffles, like exotic flavors, right?
Yeah.
Like during all these podcasts, there's like advertising like buffalo chicken and nachos. There's like whatever. They're advertising all this crazy shit, but they're literally in no fucking stores. Why put all the money in advertising and not in actually stocking them in the stores?
Because they're sold out. It's like the Xbox One.
No, they're not sold out. They literally don't carry
demand.
them. Like the only one I could
demand.
find today was the jalapeno ones, and this is like the weirdest one. It's not even that
That's
weird.
not jalapeno. That's sour cream and onion.
So I picked up the wrong bag then. See, that's how bad it was. I wanted the jalapeno and
He just
sour
like, all I
cream
can
and
find
jalapeno.
were these. It's like, Nat, I got bad news. It's not what you think.
It's a ruffle shortage.
Yo,
well, yeah,
Nat's ruffled.
It's really annoying, and like, why advertise all these crazy flavors if you literally can't find them anywhere?
I agree. Why advertise graphics cards when you can't get them anywhere?
Yeah, it's. I've been very into Doritos recently, so I've been getting like the
purple bag is the
chili.
best.
Purple bag
is the best.
Yep, I have that, and I really like the Flamin' Hot Limon ones, which are really good.
The white bag.
I can't remember what color the bag is.
I'm pretty sure it
has like a lime aftertaste. It's pretty nice. I like Doritos. Basic gamer that way. But
no, you're not. No, because you don't drink Mountain Dew.
Well, I don't drink any soda at all.
I know. So like, you're not that gamer.
Not that gamer.
You're not that gamer.
Yep, that's a title.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. That was my gnat complaint this week because it was really annoying.
I'm with you, man. That's not a gnat complaint. That's a legit complaint, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's always super annoying when it's like, hey, come check out all this cool shit. Yeah, no, that'd be great if I could find it anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm with you.
Like, imagine.
You were not alone, Nat. You were not alone.
That's really annoying.
Yeah, that's not just a you thing.
I played a bunch of different games this week, though, if you guys want to hear about that.
Always.
Go for it.
So I played some Outriders. That game is buggy as shit.
Is it fun once you're playing?
If you could get over the fact that you spent an hour trying to log on.
That's fair.
No exaggeration. Because when you get to 3 people, you multiply that troubleshooting across 3 people. Then it might take you an hour. And then it's even shittier when you got to relaunch because one of your friends is invisible.
The game has so many issues.
That is the game I have the most fun playing, but the most fear to start.
It sucks because I had one really good session and one bad session. Once I'm in and I'm shooting shit, I'm having fun. I don't care anything about the story. If we play, that's my one rule. We skip every cutscene. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want the cutscene of us getting in the elevator. Let me shoot shit because I want to be distracted by how shitty everything else is. Just let me shoot shit.
I don't know. Some of that dialogue, like, it's bad, but like some of it is like bad in a fun way.
I don't want to see any of it.
The early
None of
parts
it.
of that game
None
are
of it.
terrible.
Get it
but, like,
all out of
the
my
game,
face.
Some of it's not too bad.
If we're playing, if we agree to play, that's my one restriction: is skip every cutscene. I don't want to see any of it.
Listen, if it's shit I've never seen before, I don't care how bad it is. I'm not skipping it.
Damn.
I will not skip cutscenes.
No, I have not.
I will not, under any circumstance, skip a cutscene if I haven't seen it before.
I have maybe watched 2 cutscenes, and I'm like pretty far in the game.
Gotcha.
That's fine. I'm just saying, if I haven't seen it, I'm not skipping it.
Hey, man.
I am there. If I'm there, I'm doing it.
Hey.
I'm getting the full experience, the full Outriders experience.
You see, that's fine, But that was a restriction with me. It's fine. I hope you enjoy your Outriders experience. But I'm gonna continue playing with my friends who let me skip all the cutscenes because I don't want to see any of them. I also have been playing Ring Fit Adventure and Monster Hunter Rise.
Nice.
I still gotta start Monster.
How you like Ring Fit Adventure?
It's cool. I mean, it's harder than you think. Maybe I'm just a fat fuck who hasn't been exercising in a while. But it was harder than I thought it would be, so that's cool.
Yeah, dude. You get to those sections with the high knees, man. Game over.
High knees ain't that bad, man. High knees ain't that bad. The chair, sit. The first one we sit down, you gotta extend your feet. I can't not put my heel on the ground. It's hard, man. That core strength is lacking on my part.
Yeah.
The leg strength, I feel like I got pretty good glutes. I got some thick thigh muscles, So high knees ain't that big of a deal. It's just, sometimes Mars barks when I do a little too excited high knees. I'm on the second floor. But
excited Mars.
Yeah, it's cool. I just stand here in my boxers and I play Ring Fit Adventure.
Yep. While you're streaming to your OnlyFans.
Not to my OnlyFans. Nope. They don't get those.
He's got
cheeks.
a different site for that.
No streaming. That's between me and the walls.
How do you like Monster Hunter?
That's cool. I played through the tutorial that one time. I had the really bad logging session. I was playing with 2 other friends of Outriders, and so I really didn't know what was going on because there's that grappling hook mechanic thingy, and I really couldn't figure it out. But now I figured out the movement and stuff. I've only been playing for a little bit, and I'm liking it. I haven't really hunted anything yet. I need to go hunt something, but I also haven't been feeling like walking around with my Switch while getting on the train. So
that's fair. Have you kind of honed in on a specific weapon you like, or are you still kind of just testing?
Hammer is always early game for me when I can't just because it's easy spin to win. Spin it. This is easy. I know that weapon very well. I want to use the lance because there's a fucking rocket lance weapon that you could get later where you charge it up and launch and you fly in the air, and that shit just looks cool as shit. And I generally speaking don't like the lance in Monster Hunter games, but that looks too cool to pass up. That the katana, another like the katana, and probably the switch axe is also good.
The switch axe, I think, is what I settled on for my first weapon. That's what I want, and that's what I want to use. I was watching videos the other day, looking through all the weapons I was interested in, and that one sounded really cool. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to use this. I like the idea of kind of switching into combos and hitting them a bunch with that, then flipping it back, and that sounds cool without getting too crazy.
That, and I want to use the bow, but that's not a solo play kind of thing. That's a team up with people because I really can't. I really have never, as much as I played Monster Hunter, grasped around the different ammo and loading them in and stuff. I haven't got that process streamlined, that workflow optimized. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah. Have you been doing a lot of? Have you been mostly playing that single player or multiplayer?
I've only played single player. I haven't played any multiplayer in that.
Gotcha.
Touched it, and I got through the tutorial, played some, explore missions, exploring the map. I feel like Monster Hunter is essential. You got to know the map, so I really wanted to know where stuff is. Monster Hunter World, I feel like there was a lot of verticality to those games that I didn't expect. That kind of threw me off, so I never really knew some of the maps as well as I feel like I should have. I would spend half the time just wandering around, especially that fucking stupid tree part in that first map where you could go up.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it's just Where Am I, the video game.
Matt just got so upset he choked himself.
But yeah, so, this is easy. It's flat for the most part. I could grasp my head. Even though there's verticality, it's not laid out in a way where it's multi-level. It's laid out in these parts are high, but there's nothing under there, so don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Well, that and I think just traversing the map is so nice with the
grappling hook.
What do they call them? The
string bug.
The dogs.
Oh, the dogs. Oh yeah.
What do they call them? What are the cats called again?
I can't remember.
Asking the wrong person. Starts with a P, I think.
Damn it.
I don't know. How does it run on Switch?
Whatever.
How does the game run on Switch now? With the full game?
Acknowledge him.
Yo, what up?
Nobody was saying anything. I was like, did they not see it? Has my camera not been working this whole time?
It's the same person.
I mean, that's exactly
It's the same picture.
That's exactly how mine looks in the game. I got this at Comic-Con forever ago because me and my sister used to play on 3DS a lot, and I got her a black one and me the cream one. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Palicos.
Yep.
I don't remember what the dogs are called, but that was really annoying at the beginning of the game where you had to customize like 7 different fucking animals.
Palamutes. That's what they're called.
It wasn't 7. It was like 4, but it was like, hey, customize your cat, your dog, your insect, your fucking owl. It was like, what the fuck is all of these animals?
And that's just like, I just want to shoot stuff, man.
I should have named my character Dr. Doolittle.
Now customize your backstory. When you were 5, what did you wish for when you blew out the candles on your birthday cake?
Oh god.
Now write a 500-word essay on, why your character is special and they should be the main character of this Monster Hunter game. Submit it by Tuesday or else.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't noticed it running weird. I've been playing it mostly docked though. And just because I set up my Switch in here. I don't know if you can hear me pulling it out of the dock. I set it up in my office because I have more space in here, and I've been playing Ring Fit Adventures, so it's been here.
Makes sense. Nice.
It's cool. I'm playing that. Played a little bit of Binding of Isaac and some Divinity. I've had a packed week of games this week. I feel like.
Yeah. Okay.
Divinity's been good. Divinity has been really good.
We're
getting a lot done.
We picked up a hit on the troll, but we killed him already, so we got paid out immediately.
It was all according to plan.
Yeah, that ended up working out. That one troll seemed like a really nice guy, though.
Yeah, the one we killed.
I would have liked to see what he said. I'm not saying we wouldn't have gone back and killed him.
Sure,
but I would have liked to see what he had to say.
Yeah.
Before Tony ran up and was just like,
I mean, just saying, that guy seemed like the easier target than the other guy. Although I have no doubt that we could have killed the other guy. I just don't think we would have killed him right now.
No, we would have killed him. We still can maybe kill him.
Nah, you gotta leave him. He went to go knit chairs to bring back and sit on his bridge.
He did.
Yeah, he's making a new chair out of his buddy's skin.
I think he went and took over the other bridge.
Oh, my new bridge!
My new bridge. That's pretty good. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. We got all those source points. We're up to 3 source points now. We got 2 of them yesterday.
It's pretty sick.
That is progress. I can use all of my source abilities now. We just got to learn how to get more source.
I wanted to ask you guys this. When we were fighting that fucking dog abomination guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did y'all expect for my fucking thing to do 75% of his health in one shot?
No.
Not at all.
Because I didn't expect that. I was like, what the fuck?
I took my eyes off the screen and I turned back and he was dead. I was like, what?
I expected at least 2 of us to die before we killed him.
Yeah, same.
I expected 2 of us to be on the ground.
Because to be fair, we reloaded and we just had stuff out of play a couple times. And then we came back and then it was guys like, oh, you sure you not want to go there? I was like, no, literally, because he will breathe on me and I will die.
Yeah, dude,
yeah, because you walked a little too close and one of the things saw you and he was just like, oh, well, you're dead.
I didn't even walk. I walked sideways and it was like, oh, you're here. Teleport, boom, and killed me.
Well, yeah, no, that was the thing is the dog. One of the dog. You were close enough that one of the dogs walking towards Ross turned and saw you as their cone passed over you. It revealed you, and then he was just like, oh.
Yeah,
he just Infinity Gauntlet. And he was just like, reality is disappointing.
Yeah, bro.
Nat's dead.
But with that eagle eye thing or whatever,
that source ability you have is
that thing was a fucking
what?
Well, it's not even that. The source ability does like it just extends my range, but because of warfare and finesse and my range, my damage gets multiplied by from how far away I shot.
That makes sense.
So for me,
so we
standing,
just need you to snipe everything. Like you're gonna initiate on every major target from now on, and just cast all that shit, and then just like boom, done.
That
and then
plus the million buffs I did, and it was just like boom. I was like, holy shit! I knew it was gonna do damage, but I didn't expect that much.
For people not in the game, anytime we enter combat, Nat casts about 65 different buffs on himself before he does anything, and then everything just dies.
Yeah, he casts like 8 different buffs, and then somehow still has all of his points to take all the actions. And then gets points back every time he kills an enemy, which is like almost every time he takes an action. So he's just like, all right,
what I do
you're
is
dead.
What I do
now
is
you.
I set up, I do adrenaline, and then I do haste, and then I do peace of mind, followed by something else, and then this is optional here, is enrage, and then I'll do barrage. Barrage is 3 shots, boom. So it's like 3 shots base damage of like I think each one is plus 30 damage, plus each shot from my bow does 60. So times that by the range I'm standing at. If I'm using enrage, just like, it just multiplies. And then I get 2 more action points. It's like crazy. Because I didn't even shoot him first. I shot a dog and the dog died. And I was like, well, I guess I can shoot him too. And then I shot him because you wanted me to shoot something else. And I was like, damn, I can't really shoot anything else.
Yeah, and so we were just like, just hit the big dude. It'll chip him away.
And then we're thinking the big dude had like 2,600 health, and then he had like 400 health. And it was just like, what?
No, he didn't even have 400. He died instantly. I hit him once and he died.
It was
because he had like 2,400 health, and then somebody hit him once and did knocked down his armor. I think you used the ruptured tendons on him or something.
That's
something.
What happened. I took him down
you took his what you call
400 or 500. Yeah. I got his armor down to 15.
So he had like 15. I think he had 1,500 health left, and I shot him and it just killed him. I was like, what the fuck?
It's like we don't need to worry about any battle for the rest of the game. As long as Nat's standing in the back, we're good.
Because I didn't use rupture tendons on him. I used it on the other wolf, the gray wolf. Remember? Because the gray wolf walked away and died because he walked 6 feet and keeled over.
And those things are easy once they weren't buffing that big fucker.
Yeah, because that's all
rupture tendons is so fucking stupid. I love it. If they move, oh my god.
We need to stack rupture tendon with Ross turning him into a chicken. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once they turn into a chicken, they immediately run away.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's the big brain play right there.
Yeah, rupture the tendons, turn them into a chicken, and then they're just like, ah!
It's perfect.
So I'm telling you, man. But yeah, I feel confident that, that I'm so squishy already that taking glass cannon really does nothing. So I should just take it anyway and just multiply my damage by even more. So next time I get the opportunity to get a new, whatever those shits are called, I'm taking glass cannon because it's just going to evolve.
I know you like crossbows. Are crossbows the highest range?
No. They're the same range as the regular bows. The crossbows have you lose a movement, so I can't move as much when I'm using the crossbow. But the problem is they're way more accurate. So there's one time we was using a bow and it drops my accuracy down from I think a 90 to an 85, and I missed a bunch of shots in a pivotal battle.
Tell me about it.
And I was like, not happening again. Switch back to the crossbow. Never switching off of this.
It's incredible. You have 85 accuracy, and suddenly it's the equivalent of 50% accuracy.
Feels good, man.
I was just checking because I was like, man, if we can just get more range on you, that's the thing. We got to figure out how to get your range going longer.
We need to figure out how to actually just get a sniper in the game.
Yeah, just let's look at some more Steam Workshop. Let's get him a rifle.
Yep.
And then 1,000 meters.
Yep.
Calculate for wind velocity, curvature of the Earth, taking the shot. Got him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Done.
Target eliminated. Fucking Divinity. So that was all you played, Nat?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. One tapping all those dwarfs praying to that statue.
God,
It was pretty funny.
Fucking dwarves. We killed so many people yesterday. It was great.
We killed so many things. Me and Ross went on a marathon breaking eggs and playing cleanup. Like,
Yo,
I
cleaned up the other half of that map.
Yeah.
Cypher was standing in the middle.
Together. I did it by myself on that half, and I was just like, I didn't realize they were going to hatch into things. I was like, oh shit.
Yo, this isn't a game of one-upsmanship, man.
It's not a game of one-upsmanship. I'm just saying, I know what you were doing because I was doing it too. You just didn't want to do it with me.
Nah, we didn't know where you was.
Yeah, we didn't know where you were.
Only reason I had Ross with me is because he teleported to me with the triangle. We need to find the rest of those triangles or pyramids.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know, man. I like that just being our thing.
Oh, because we bless people with our skill. Like, yo, bar the pyramid for a second.
Yeah.
Greedy.
Yep.
Greedy.
Yep. I'm a greedy dwarf.
It's just funny because Ross was like, "Oh shit, somebody's fighting me." I was like, "I'm here."
Yeah.
I like how too, like every boss we fought yesterday, or like the last 2 sessions, Ross has been able to talk to them. I just love, like, I don't know, like it's clearly a thing, but I just think it's funny. I like to think it's just him and Ross is just walking up, and it's like he's so good that they're just like, "Look, I will engage in dialogue with you first, see if you can get out of this." And Ross is just like, "Don't worry."
Yeah,
persuasion successful.
That lady, that skull lady that was trying to press me about allegiances or whatever, press Russ about allegiances, and then tried to check me for something. I found something else on me, and then tried to fight me. She regretted it instantly because I shot her once, and Nightmare walked up behind her and ruptured tendon her before I could even do anything else because she was about to die. I didn't even buff, and she was dead.
Yeah.
I ruptured her tendies.
You ruptured her face.
Yeah, I was rupturing faces yesterday.
Yeah,
that's really what was happening.
Yeah, I don't do much damage, but anytime I hear Nat say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna fight now," instantly teleport. Where? Let me at him.
That was fun last night because we got
Cypher
so many
and I
fights.
are looking around for them. We're like, where the fuck are they?
Yeah, it's just like I'm Nat's bodyguard, man. If anyone gets up close, get out of here, man. No one touches Nat.
So you're Ryan Reynolds, he's Samuel L. Jackson, Hitman's bodyguard. Wasn't that it?
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because I'm knocking people out.
Yeah.
We need to find a way to get you that buff skill. You know the chain thing. I think there's another one that's based on like
the shackles of pain that Cypher does.
Yeah, but there's one based in your skills. If we could get that for you, that would be really
I'm always
OP.
in the middle. Yeah, that would be really good. I'm always in the middle of everything.
Do you still run in Rage?
Me?
Yeah.
I never did.
You did for a little bit.
No,
that was
that was
enrage
me.
people, like.
Yeah. No.
Or no, not in. It's not called enrage.
Like the taunt, the provoke.
Yeah, taunt. That's what I meant. Yeah, provoke. Yeah.
I was using it, but the range is so small that I took it off the skill bar. Like it's barely around me. Is the range of that thing? It's pathetic.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah,
and usually Nat's far away. Cypher's tanky enough, and he also has some range stuff. And Chris, you just bop in and out. So I'm like,
I try.
The taunt doesn't matter as much. Yeah.
Try to bop in. That's what I need, because Nat has all the abilities to get in and out. I need to be able to get in and out more than I do. Like I want to be able to go in, rupture someone's tendons, and then get out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I need to be able to do.
Yeah.
You just got chameleon cloak, so
yeah. I got to get a point in whatchamacallit, so I can use that. Yeah, I got to get a point in polymorph.
I'm not hearing what's happening on the Nick game, but they just showed Frank. They showed Frank, and I'm hyped. I'm like, oh my god, they start Frank tonight. Now you got to know the significance of that. Like me and Ross playing 2K that one time. And then I put Frank in the game, and he was just hooping. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, we need to play again. You need to start him.
I don't want to get beat again.
No one wants to play things with me.
My ego is fragile.
Stop being good at the things you're good at.
Now we can play again,
or start playing things that other people are good at with them.
Okay, what do you want me to play?
You don't want to play anything.
Play chess.
I want to play. Yeah, play chess.
I'll play chess and get rocked. I'm fine with it though.
No, I'm like actually like no gas. If we're not playing time chess, like probably one of the best people you ever playing chess.
Yeah.
No smoke.
No, I don't doubt it. I know what all the pieces do. but I don't know any strategies beyond that. I just move stuff around. I'm more of a checkers guy myself.
I make rookie moves. That's all I do.
Yeah, I'm bad at chess, but I like playing it.
I'm pretty good at it, guys.
Yeah.
That's one game I have the utmost confidence that if you beat me, you should probably go compete at like tournaments or something because I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. Oh.
Yeah, guys. Those are my games.
You want to talk about what you've been playing or
Yeah, sure.
Me to go? I don't know, Russ. I don't know if you saw Russell's meme.
Is there a new one?
He just made one.
Oh yeah. Memes. It's true. Oh
it's
yeah.
True.
Yeah. It's so I'm the tank of the group as a dwarf who also can talk to anyone and persuade them to do anything
about anything.
I don't remember the last time I failed a persuasion.
I don't think
check.
you can.
I don't think I've ever failed a persuasion check in that game.
I need you to just keep boosting your persuasion.
That's what I'm doing. I do every
just
time
every
I have a chance.
Every time,
yep.
Just boost your persuasion, and
That's
we're gonna let Ross talk to everybody.
Yep. And then you two need to like kill Cypher to keep him away from people, so I can actually talk to people.
Just in case him, and then go talk to people.
Yep, that's exactly what I need to do. Yep.
Just be like, oh, there's somebody crystallized. Yep. Let me go talk real quick.
Anyway, Divinity, yeah.
And then while you're doing that, I'm just rummaging through their pockets, and I'm like, "This is nice."
That's how it goes.
Just take this and this and this. Anybody want this? That's mine too.
Mine.
Let's see what else, other stuff I've been playing. So obviously Divinity. Played some Avengers today with Chris, which was a lot of fun.
We did it.
We finally played
Avengers.
I've just realized we forgot to record.
I don't think we forgot. I think we were just having a good time. We can record tomorrow if you're around.
Yeah.
Because now at least I'm through some of the growing pains. I know who I want to play as. So like we could do like one of the harm rooms, and I'll just roll as Iron Man.
Yeah. So yeah. So that was a lot of fun. Chris is still getting through the story, but yeah, we were able to do some drop zone missions, which are some quick in and out missions, and then some kind of a gauntlet type of training room stuff, which was fun. It's not always the case where your favorite character ends up being your favorite one to play as in a game with them, but for Chris, I feel like it worked out.
It ended up working out. At first, I was a big Hulk fan, but Hulk is way too squishy to be Hulk.
I also think you forgot to use his R2 ability, the hold, to rage, and then you take like little to no damage while you're doing it.
I also forgot about that. Yes,
I
did consistently forget about that. But anyway, I digress.
Yes,
I still ended up liking Iron Man a lot more once I got him rolling. Like I like being able to like zip around the battlefield and just be like missile.
yeah. It's I think you'll like Thor too. Actually, once you unlock.
I do like Thor. Thor was the only character like in that initial part that I came out being like, yo, I really like this one.
Yeah.
Thor was the guy I wanted to play as. I might still, but like him, Captain America was fine. Just thinking like back to that first mission where he plays everybody. Black Widow was also all right too.
Yeah, I'm
just worried about her being a little too squishy.
So kind of like Iron Man, she ends up with 3 different kind of firing methods for different purposes, which is pretty fun. And she can do a lot of damage, single target damage really fast. But yeah, so yeah, I'm still having a lot of fun with Avengers. The Tachyon Anomaly event is still going on right now until May 3rd, where you can play as the same character within missions, which is something that early on the developers said they didn't want to do for story reasons, but the community really asked them for it. So this has been a test run to see if people like it, and the player numbers have been up. So,
I mean, they better listen to people if they want people to stay, especially after their like kind of haphazard launch. Don't have much of a choice.
Yeah. So Tachyon Anomaly has seemed to be pretty popular. Right now, when you matchmake, you can just say like just a quick matchmake, and you get like plus 10% XP. And I've been seeing a lot of people do like same heroes. It was great. One mission, 3 of us were Captain Americas, and shields were just flying all over the place, and it was fantastic.
I just want to get a team of all Iron Man. You just hear beep.
Yeah,
beep.
just like everyone, all 4 unibeams on the same target at once.
Oh
Yeah.
God, sounds so good.
So
why wouldn't you want that?
Right? Having a lot of fun with that. Chris is going to continue to play through more of the story, and then we can play longer missions beyond the drop zones and the harm rooms. But I have all the characters except for Hulk and Iron Man, ironically enough, at max character level of 50. So I'm going to work on Hulk and Iron Man, get them max character level, and then I'll start trying to get everyone to gear level 150. So that's that. They also did just announce, which is pretty cool, that coming up for characters that have weapons that they hold, like Cap's shield or like Hawkeye's bow, anything like that. They're adding weapon skins into the game, so which will help because Cap's shield doesn't change depending on his costume, so it always looks exactly the same, which is kind of a bummer. So that'll be a welcome change. But yeah, so that's been Avengers, and then yeah, it's Game Pass has been kind of the other thing I've been playing a lot with over the past week. Like I mentioned, tried to play Outriders a couple times, and by the time I actually got into the game, I just turned it off because of that. Yeah, it's
Say no more.
Outriders. Yep.
Yeah, it's Outriders.
Yep. And then I started playing a game I meant to play when it came out, but I wanted to wait for all the episodes to come out, which is Tell Me Why. From Don't Know.
Tell me why you wanted to play that.
Because it's from the creators of Life is Strange. And Life is Strange is great. And I played through the first episode of Tell Me Why, and I am 100% hooked. That is... It's only 3 episodes. Yeah, go ahead.
I was say, is it based on whatever that fucking... I just drew a blank. I'm not sure. What fucking boy band is it?
It's like, not based on the Backstreet Boys. Yeah. No, it's not.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing.
It's yeah. It went some places I wasn't expecting in the first episode. And yeah, it's only 3 episodes long, so I'm actually really excited to get back to it. I beat that first episode over this past weekend, but I don't want to play another episode without being able to do it all in one sitting. So I'm kind of just waiting for probably this coming weekend to do that. But yeah, it's really good, Chris. I think you'd like it.
I think I mean, yeah, I think it's also on PC, so I might play it at some point. That's definitely like one of those games. I like the idea, like. I don't like the idea of waiting forever for episodic games because they inevitably get delayed and stuff. And it's like, oh, we're going to do one every month. And then it's every month and a half. Then it's every 2 months. And it's like, just wait till it's done. AKA Life is Strange, Telltale, The Wolf Among Us, all that shit.
Yep.
But what I would probably do is I might do like one a week, or I might do like one a day and just kind of like space it out a little bit. Cause like, I feel like you lose a little something from the episodic nature if you play them back to back. That's just a me thing. And I like the idea of kind of letting that simmer a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I liked, when like an episode of Life is Strange would end and it would have that cliffhanger. I'd just be like, oh my God, I gotta wait. And like, I hate it, but like, I kind of love it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the idea of like, maybe like, I think ideally, if they were to do that, it'd be like every week or two, like every week or every 2 weeks, they'd release an episode and just be like, like, you're not going to have to wait long. Like, do it once a week and just be like, here, the game is done, but we're going to release these weekly and let people kind of just let the game be done.
Yeah.
And be like, okay,
exactly
the game is ready. Yeah. All 5 episodes are done, but they're going to unlock one a week. And that in my mind is like the perfect way to do that. Just like a show, just like, Falcon and Winter Soldier or WandaVision, just like one a week. So you get that week to talk like, yo, did you see that? But did you catch this? I didn't see that, so you can go, that gives you time to go back and like redo that episode and be like, okay, did I miss something here? Is there something else I could do? Or if you want to have like parallel playthroughs, okay, this is my main playthrough.
Even if it was like once every 2 weeks or once a month, I feel like having everything prepared already is a better strat, because I feel like a lot of
100%.
times the window is so far from where like where it could be, that just having it ready, I feel like would do so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that's what you need to do. You need to treat it more like TV and just be like, look, all the episodes are complete. They're 100%. If we wanted to, we could release them all right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to do this on a weekly thing. So that way, everybody kind of gets that feeling, this is how we want to do it. And you know what? That's fine.
Well, just the pacing and talking to people who are also playing through it week to week is like, I feel like
there's value to that.
Yeah, I feel like is just a cool experience. Like,
that's how you build a community.
When The Walking Dead was first coming out, that's what that was like. It was like, oh, did you play that yet? Like,
it's the same with like The Wolf Among Us and like with with Life is Strange. I remember like, because Ross, you and I were both playing them, and I'd be like, yo, like end of episode 2, or was it episode 1 with the roof? Was that 2? That was 2.
Of what?
I'm trying to say it without spoiling.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
Of Life is Strange.
I don't remember what episode it is, but I know what you're talking about. I've played through
it. With the roof.
All you have to say is the roof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, episode 2, right?
Yeah, it was episode 2.
Yeah, like that. Like
I had
seeing
the
that
ideal.
and being like,
I had the ideal version the first time around, so I didn't even know until people started telling me.
Yeah, my wife started playing Life is Strange, and she didn't get all the info that she needed to prevent.
I got just enough
that prevented the bad thing from happening on the roof, and then the bad thing happened, and then she never went back and played the game ever again.
And that's the thing is like, you're talking to your friends, yo, did you get the good thing or the bad thing? And they're like, wait, what do you mean? It's like, wait, there's a good thing, and it's like, you got the bad thing, and it's like, you didn't. And then you're talking and you're like, yo, you got to look in the trash and you got to do this and you got to do this. And then you say these things, and it was so cool. And like that shit feels so good. And it's just like watching like a really good TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Like those games I think are great. Just like Nat said, when you can kind of build that anticipation around it, and you can kind of build that, that kind of old school water cooler talk where it's like, yo, did you play the last episode of Life is Strange? Holy shit. Like that was incredible.
I feel like,
because those always ended with like a really good like cliffhanger or something, like the end of episode 4. Because I didn't see the twist coming, and when that happened, I was just like, oh. I'm just like, what the fuck? And then everybody, half the internet is like, holy shit, I didn't see this coming, and the other half is like, yo, called this shit in episode 1, and it's just like, how? And then you look, and it's like, oh, I get it. All right, I'm just stupid, I guess.
No, man, I feel like games like that I benefit from because I'm such a min-maxer, like especially in games like that I'll sit there and look around at everything, and like unless they hide it really well, most cases I don't miss stuff like that. So I wasn't even trying to my first playthrough, and I like did it, and then the second playthrough I'd like let it happen, and I was like, nah, that doesn't feel good. Let me go back.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, and like that's the thing I like, because Life is Strange gave you a lot of time to look around, but I feel like there was always something where it was like, yo, I gotta go, where Max is always like, hey, I got this thing soon. And there is, even if there's not a clock ticking, there's that feeling of the ticking clock, and it's like, all right, I gotta get to this thing because I don't know if there's gonna be a consequence or not. So it's like, I gotta look around here. Or you get to the point where it's like, hey, I just want to be alone, could you just fucking leave, and it's like, oh shit. So you're constantly just like looking really quick. You're like, do I wait for this? Do I look for something else?
Yeah. And I think Tell Me Why definitely falls in that same vein. The end of the first episode, huge cliffhanger, huge twist already. So yeah, Chris, I think that would be I think both Chris and Nat, both of you, I think would really like Tell Me Why. And again, it's only 3 episodes.
How long's the episode?
So it probably took me about like 2 hours, maybe.
Okay. I just don't like when they like, I like 2 to 3 hours, usually good for one of those episodes. Once it starts to get to like the 4-hour range, I start to lose a little bit of interest because it starts to feel a little bloated. It's like, there are a lot of games that I can play like for 4 hours in a single session, but when I know it's like one episode at a certain point, it's like, how much longer is this going to be? Like, cause I sometimes I just want to play something else.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of those games. Sometimes they're not, if they are getting a little too long, they're just not engaging enough at a certain point. And it's like, oh, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
There's definitely a balance to that.
So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to getting back into that. And it is on Game Pass, both on console and PC. Because I've had it installed on PC forever and on my Xbox forever. And I finally was just like, I just want to play it. So happy I started.
I just like to keep reminding myself that The Last of Us, or not The Last of Us, The Wolf Among Us 2 is still a game in active development.
Still alive. Yep.
Boy, I can't fucking wait for that.
Yeah, and then
that better be fucking like the first season. Listen, I love it. The first season had its problems, though. It better be better than that.
It's still my favorite Telltale series.
I think Tales from the Borderlands might have surpassed it for me, but it's really close. I like the idea. I like that world better. I think Tales from the Borderlands was more consistently like better executed overall.
Yeah,
I think Borderlands lends itself better to that format in some ways. And Loaderbot. I mean, come on, man, greatest character of all time.
I think for me, the mystery of The Wolf Among Us and the world kind of outstripped. Like Tales from the Borderlands was really funny. I liked it a lot, but like it hasn't stuck with me nearly as much as The Wolf Among Us has.
That's fair. I agree with that. So maybe that is secretly my favorite, and I just like to. I think Tales from the Borderlands is probably the best game they ever made, but you're probably right that The Wolf Among Us is the one that I would probably say I enjoyed the most overall.
Yeah. So
I can't wait for that sequel.
Last thing I've been playing, which was a surprise to me and a surprise to my wife, I've been playing a lot of MLB The Show 21 on Game Pass. It's very weird to start up a game on my Xbox and have Sony San Diego
PlayStation
Studios. Yeah, PlayStation Studios show up. Super weird. But yeah, I'm not a big baseball guy, but I like baseball video games. The thing is, I don't like them enough to pay like a full price for a game. Like MVP Baseball 2005 with Manny Ramirez on the cover. I'll play that all the time. I have that on my GameCube. The mini games in that game, so much fun. So I was like, I'll download MLB, see if I like it, see if I have any fun with it. And there's this mode, and I don't know if it's new, because again, I haven't played any of the MLB The Show games, but it's called March to October, where basically it simulates through the entire season, and it pauses on games that'll have like key moments. So like you'll be simulating, and then it'll stop, and we'll say like finish the game off strong and sweep the series, and it puts you in like in the 7th inning, and then you play and you try to do that, and if you succeed, you basically get like heat points, and they add to this meter that basically makes your team more successful when simulating innings and games on the schedule. And if you fail, you get like a snowflake, and the opposite effect happens. But it's a lot of fun. It's great to kind of just quick jump in and out. And some of them will be like, this pitcher has been called up from the minors. Make sure he has a good first start in the league. So you play just as the pitcher for the game or something like that. And it's a lot of fun. At first, I was really terrible at batting, like I always am in games, because off-speed pitches just throw me for a loop. But I found they have a few different pitching methods, a few different fielding control schemes, and a few different batting control schemes. And I found that the analog stick for batting, kind of like the shot stick in 2K, is what works best for me. So, I've put over the past week maybe like 8 or 10 hours into that game.
Wow,
just having a lot of fun with it, just randomly. And again, would never have happened if it wasn't on Game Pass. So like, it's the power of Game Pass. So yeah, that's kind of. I've actually been playing more games than I thought this past week. Thank you for the applause. I know it wasn't for me, but I will take it. There we go. Yep, clap it up. So yeah, that's it. I'm looking for more games on Game Pass, and just kind of I like that I'm able to play a mix of brand new games like MLB and like Outriders, along with games that are like a year or two old, like Tell Me Why, and just kind of have access to them. So
It still
yeah,
blows
that's
my
what I'm
mind that
playing.
MLB is on there.
Oh yeah, so
It
weird.
still blows my mind. Like, I get it, because the MLB published the Xbox version, so that was a deal with them. Like, Sony didn't
Yep.
have anything to do with that. But like, boy,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta wonder if at a certain point, like if the MLB renews that deal, it's one thing if they do it this year and it's like, hey, it's the first time on Xbox. We want to build that fan base,
Yeah.
get people to come back next year and pay for it. But if they renew that deal, at a certain point, you got to think Sony is just like, okay, one, are we getting money from that? Two, how much money are we losing from that? And three, is it worth still making this game? Like, at a certain point, it's like, okay, could we just make our own thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just be like, whatever, let somebody else do it. And then, if nobody else can do it as well as Sony San Diego and the MLB comes crawling back, suddenly Sony has they have the leverage. But
Mm-hmm.
I really wonder, like, 2-3 years from now, it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out with MLB and Sony.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be something to keep an eye on over the next couple of years, especially like, if this eats into their sales of the game.
Yeah, I would
Mm-hmm.
say everything is fine if it wasn't on Game Pass. Like, I don't feel like anybody would be mad if it came out. Like, obviously, less ideal for Sony, but I feel like they wouldn't even give a big stink about it. But the fact that it's on Game Pass is the big, like, fuck you.
Well, I mean, again, it's the MLB doing it, and I don't think it's the wrong decision because the MLB, here's this known PlayStation franchise.
Mm-hmm.
On Xbox, they don't fucking, like, they know it exists probably, but they've never played it. And so as far as the MLB is concerned, it makes sense to kind of give everybody the gateway drug, Hey, everybody play MLB 21. And then if they get hooked on it, then next year they'll pay for it, which I think that logic kind of fails after it's been on Game Pass, because if MLB 21 stays on Game Pass and MLB 22 isn't, how many of those people just decide, well, I'm going to keep playing 21 because it's on Game Pass?
Right. Yeah.
And then, this can shoot them in the foot multiple ways. Or, if Sony still sells as many copies as they expect it to, because you got to assume not as many people are as lucky as I have been with these consoles. That's not an intentional flex. That is just honest to God luck. Not everybody's going to have both. And you assume that the MLB The Show fan is either going to play that on their PS4 or they already have been trying to get a PS5. The established fan base. They weren't going to buy an Xbox anyway, probably, if they were already invested in that ecosystem.
Chicago got the ball stuck behind the rim just now, and Obi had to go get it.
Huh?
Said Chicago got the ball stuck behind the rim just now, and Obi had to go get it.
It's one of our on topic interludes, but yeah, it will be interesting. I think that it being on Game Pass, like, I think it's good for the game. I'm writing an article right now about kind of my experience with Game Pass and like looking into the different, like, obviously there's not a ton of detail out there for the compensation models for developers, but like Phil Spencer in an interview last year was like, yeah, it really kind of goes developer by developer. Like, if a developer comes to us and says, we'll put our game on Game Pass day one if you give us some money up front, we'll do that. If they're working on a game and it's coming out on multiple platforms, but it'll be on Game Pass day one, we'll pay for the full production costs. Like, from everything anecdotally I've seen, developers are very successful on Game Pass, and I think this only helps MLB The Show to be. Obviously, we don't know what the monetary situation is and the financial compensation for having it on Game Pass is, but from other developers, it seems like they do pretty well. And the fact that there's crossplay as well with PlayStation on day one helps.
Oh yeah, I feel like that had to be a given, and that was probably something MLB mandated of like, yo, these games need to talk to each other. But I definitely think I agree. Like, having it on Game Pass was, from the Sony perspective, and that's kind of how we came at it originally. It's just like looking at it from the Sony perspective and being like, what the fuck? But like, the more you think about it, it's a fucking brilliant move, because like I said, it's here's all these people who've never played it before. Now play it with Game Pass. And then that's a way for Microsoft to get a chunk of people who would not otherwise sign up for Game Pass. It's like, well, if the baseball game is on there and I'm going to play it for 2 months, why wouldn't I just get Game Pass for 2 months? And you hope either they'll let the subscription go and they keep paying for it and forget, or that they're playing all these other games on it, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, there's a ton of value here. I want to keep this. So, Microsoft benefits just as much as the game does. And I would not be surprised if at some point the MLB is out and they're like, yo, this is the best show. Like, obviously this is going to be the biggest show ever because it's multi-platform. But like, I would not be surprised if they were like, yo, not only is this the biggest show ever, but this surpassed expectations. And, I would hope for Sony's end that they come out and they're just like, yeah, the game outperformed what it did last year. Excluding Xbox for their sake, because they got to report their bottom line. And, I only say that because you want to have Sony still have success with the game on their platform, because if the game is good, you want Sony to keep making it. And Sony's only going to stay as invested as it is successful on their platform. So even if you're an Xbox fan and you're like, yeah, we got it on Game Pass, fuck you guys, it's like, you still have to hope it does well on PlayStation. Like, yo, you got to be out there and be like, yeah, no, it's great on Game Pass, but you guys should go buy it on PlayStation. Like, no joke, you guys should buy it. It's worth it, I think that's the key here is what does Sony end up getting out of it? Is it going to keep up? And if the game is still successful, then everybody wins. The MLB wins, the show wins, Microsoft wins, Sony wins, everybody's happy, successful multi-platform game. Sony's going to keep making it. If it doesn't, if Sony's like, hey, this game sold worse than it did last year, but not only that, it sold worse than, other ones or something, or like, hey, Xbox took a big chunk out of our, player base or something, then Sony's got to take that step back. And again, it's, the balancing act of, okay, how much does it cost us to do this? How much, are you going to do this again? If you do this again, we don't want to be involved anymore, because it's a business for them, because, Sony's got to sell their box and this game is important to their box.
Is this a 5-point play? On my bad. They fouled Reggie Bullock off the ball, and he shot 2 free throws, and Julius Randle just shot 3.
Don't worry about it.
How is Chicago so bad? Yeah, I don't know.
Remember the 90s?
What have you been playing, Chris?
I have been playing not as much as I would think. Obviously, Avengers. I had a good time with that today. I have been playing more Loop Hero. Ross has also been playing Loop Hero. I figured I'd pick that one up for you since you picked up Avengers. Loop Hero. For those who missed it, you should still go watch the video. It's on the HalfGen YouTube. I am working for anybody who's looking on the site and they're like, boy, it's hard to find these videos. They're going to be up. We're working it out. So Tony's going to be taking over, posting those to the site. I'm going to make a new category. I'll probably do it tonight. And so it'll be easier to find those videos going forward. I promise. On the site. Also, you can just subscribe to the YouTube and then they'll be there. But you should check it out, because Loop Hero last week, I got my first loop clear, my first boss kill in the recording, which was pretty dope. So you guys should watch that because it's pretty priceless.
Loop Hero looks cool. Yeah, I want to buy that, but I have to buy Valheim first.
I feel like Loop Hero. Ross and I have had conversations about Valheim, and there's still probably some conversations to be had about it as we progress through the year. But short of being able to talk Valheim at the end of the year, I feel like Loop Hero is going to kind of be this year's Hades, in terms of like, this is going to be kind of the big like indie game that everybody's talking about. And I said, like, not that wouldn't be the case, without Valheim. It's just Valheim being early access kind of makes that decision a lot easier. We're still figuring out like how we want to deal with that at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. Technically, when we do
We
game
got
of the
to
year,
do
there's
what we did
discussions to
last
be
year
had.
because there was, what you call it, there was something from last year that should have got nominated, and we danced around it. I can't remember what it was right now. It's out of my head, but yeah.
Well, that's why, and that was part of it. That's why, it's a discussion, and that obviously you would have to be involved in that too because you're part of Game of the Year. That's a discussion to be had as far as like, where, do we need to move the line basically on that stuff? But Loop Hero is like when I saw Loop Hero for the first time, I wasn't super interested. It was hearing people talk about it, and I was like, I gotta check this game out because nobody seems to be able to explain what this game is. It looks so fucking weird, but I gotta see it. And then I started playing it, and there's like, and Ross lucked out because he got to kind of see it in person. So he got to have his aha moment before he started playing, which I think is a benefit to you because you cleared the first boss, you said, right?
Yeah.
So Ross just powered through that shit. He got over the speed bump a lot faster than I did, but like that is exactly that kind of game. And I hate to be one of those people of like, yo, you just got to give it some time. But Loop Hero is literally like, you got to give it some time because it just doesn't work until you give it time.
Yeah. And right now it's only on PC. So as long as you play less than 2 hours, you can refund it if you want.
Yeah. But like, honestly, like if you're playing less than 2 hours, you're not playing Loop Hero. Like it's just, it takes 2 hours to build up some resources, to learn the mechanics. You have to fail at that game to learn how to play that game,
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing bad about that. So yeah, I've been kind of doing some runs through, with on the second boss. I haven't fought it yet. I had one good run going, and I went one loop too many and got murdered.
Yeah.
But
as my own kind of like personal challenge, I want to beat the first boss with all 3 classes, and the only one I can't do it with is the rogue because I get way too. Which is the one.
I beat it with, and then I did one run with the necromancer and beat it that run.
Yeah, same here.
Because you were like, yo, Necro's crazy. I was like, I'll try it. I got like one fight that looked bad because they kept attacking the necromancer, so I got low. But guess what I got, Ross? The Oblivion cards.
Yep.
I summoned Oblivion.
Yeah.
And I was just like 10% health, 10% health, 10% health. Yo, he even had, I think, buildings. No, actually, no, I destroyed all of them, I think. But and then he attacked me a little bit, and then I got my skeletons up, and he just starts attacking them, and I'm like, oh, you're dead, dude. You're so bad.
Yeah. So like, I'm still working on that road clear for the first boss, but I've only done like 1 or 2 runs on the second boss so far. I've been doing a lot of resource grinding to just get more structures at the home base.
See, but that's why I've been doing the second, because you get the bonus resources.
Yes.
So that's why I'm trying to run the second one as much as I can.
And that's what I did kind of right before, or excuse me, the other day I did a 11 loop resource run for the second one, and you get so many more resources. So
my struggle right now is getting some of like those specialty resources, and like I'm just having a hard time finding them.
I'm at a roadblock because there's I got the Intel Center and I got the library, and now there's a new resource I haven't seen before that's required for the next building on the tree, and I have no idea what it is. I assume you get it from beating the second boss.
It might be like a third loop thing.
Yeah.
I mean, also try placing ruins, because remember, you get random resources from that.
Oh yeah, no, I do.
So that might be the key too. Those things are annoying. Like, they're not hard to kill, the monsters that spawn from there, but because they're archers, you just have to kind of build them in the middle of nowhere and not have anything else around them, or they're just going to keep shooting you.
Did you get the library?
I don't think I got the library yet. I did build something else, but I don't remember what it was.
So the library unlocks a gold card called like the Massive Maze or whatever. And have you unlocked the ability to get gold cards yet?
Not sure.
Okay. Well,
I don't
basically,
right now.
you get it with the Intel Center, and basically, it gives you one card at the beginning that's like a super specialty card, like the Arsenal. You drop it, and each run, your character gets an additional equipment slot. So, like the Necromancer, you drop the Arsenal, you now have the shield slot open, and you can equip shields. The Rogue can get magic armor, like the Necromancer.
Ooh, I need that.
And I forget what. I think maybe the Warrior can get like an amulet, or I think either that or a second ring slot. I can't remember, but
second ring slot sounds right for some reason.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong.
But there's this card that's called like Massive Maze or something, and its description is it does absolutely nothing but takes up a lot of space. So I was like, okay, let me see what this does. I dropped it, and I was like, and then it took a second, and then there was like 30 tiles that went all around it. And so like that filled up the map completion bar a ton. So like I ended up fighting the boss like after like the 4th or 5th loop, and he scales with however many loops you do. So you can fight him when he's weaker early, just up against your lower level gear.
That sounds really cool, actually.
So yeah, so like I was playing as the Warrior, and it was like loop 4, and I got back around to him, and I beat him on like loop 4. I was like, that's super cool. That could be good on the second loop, because I'm doing very poorly on the second loop in terms of even getting to map completion.
I think I got like 8 loops deep on the second one. 8 or 9 was like my best one. And then I got killed by a bunch of goblins.
Yeah, it's always the goblins.
It's always the fucking goblins. They're the worst. They're the only enemy that like really sucks. Well, the problem is too is when you kill one of them always gets the buff when they get like the swords on them. Buff, yeah, so they get the buff, and then God forbid a village is like, hey, now they're the boss. You know, now they're the target for the quest, and then it's just like, oh my god, you just hate me.
Mm-hmm. But like, there's so much cool stuff in that game with the tiles you can put down and the combinations, like the treasury. Like at first, I was just like, oh yeah. I'll drop meadows around it to get the blooming meadows, and I'll get the resources. But then something I didn't know until I was just messing around with it is that when you have the cardinal directions, but go for the other 4, it completely empties out the treasury. You get a ton of bonus resources.
Oh, wait, did I not finish a treasury with you?
I don't remember. You might have, but I have forgotten.
Yeah, because you basically cash out the treasury, but then every 2 days it spawns gargoyles. Those gargoyles ain't shit, though.
No, they're fine.
They're nothing.
So stuff like that, and like
hard piece.
And then there's stuff you try to find combinations with. Like I unlocked like the desert cards and stuff. I'm putting them next to everything, trying to see if anything happens, and nothing happens so far. You get like,
is there an oasis?
So you unlock high on the tech tree is basically like a river card, and you can make an oasis with the deserts, which gives some sort of buff. But like one thing I didn't know is that if you have a grove, you have the ability, which you get, I think, like a wood resource, and every couple of days, like a rat wolf spawns, which is a very easy enemy. There's another card called the Blood Grove. So you can put that next to that grove, and basically on any tiles it covers, once you hit an enemy down to below 15% health, the grove destroys them instantly. Which is why I always put one on the campfire tile, because it works for the final boss. So
I did that. Good. I did that on my Necro run, I think.
Yeah. But if you put a second Blood Grove off of that same grove, it becomes a Hungry Grove and starts attacking you as well. So like there's all these super cool combo effects with all of these tiles that the game doesn't explain, and you either find out by experimenting or you find out by watching someone else play.
So here's something I might have found out, Ross, and I can't confirm. I don't remember this tile being there, but I found like a blood meadow or something, like one of the basic tiles with nothing on it. It turned into like a blood tile. Yes. And I had 2 overlapping battlefields.
Yes,
the chest things. Yeah. So I made one of those, and the thing kept spawning. And so I'm like, okay, let me get rid of one of my battlefields. Does not get rid of that tile.
Oh, I never actually tried.
No, that shit is there forever.
Yeah. So like you put battlefields like within the same vicinity of each other, the road turns into like Blood Road or something. And
Blood Road. That might have been what it was.
And blood clots are annoying.
Oh god, they suck, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck them. They are
but
annoying as shit.
But like, yeah, it's such a
I had
cool
one right
mix.
outside my campfire. So like every time I'd heal
terrible.
and he would just take me back down, I'd be like, you dick.
Ugh. But like, it's such an interesting mix of roguelite, almost like an idle game, and like a strategy game.
I hate to call it an idle game because if you're idling in that game, you're losing. Like time spent not paying attention to that game is time spent losing. You're losing health. You're not killing fast enough. You're not clearing fast enough. Like,
So to clarify on that, you can't control your character's movement and you can't control them in battle. He automatically traverses the set loop every single time, and in battle you can't choose which enemy to target. You can't choose anything.
It's almost kind of like a god game in a way, because like you're building the world that the character is traveling through, and you're kind of telling the character like, hey, you know, equip this stuff and whatever. It's crazy. It is such a unique game. And I never expected it. And it's so crazy that it was made in like RPG Maker.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite aspect of the game. Like I actually think the story so far is more interesting than it has any right to be.
I agree. I like that when you go back to the first boss, he reacts to dying to you, and he's just like, oh, I get it. And your character's like, get what? And he's just like, you have no clue what's going on here. He's like, I'm not him. I'm a different him. But like, you don't even know what you set in motion. He's just like, you don't even know, dude. And I'm like, shut up and die.
Yeah. But like, probably my favorite aspect of that game is the equipment system, because I can't tell you. So you get equipment you get armor and stuff from beating enemies, clearing loops, all that kind of stuff. And they have rarity, like it's like a looter. They have different rarities. They have different abilities attached to them. And like, that's the most challenging part of the game for me, is like, I really want to build this evasion rogue. So am I willing to sacrifice everything else to try and get high evasion? Or is this just base stat jump high enough to where I just give up on the evasion build and kind of pivot and try to go for crit chance build? And it's like, those are the hardest choices I have in that game, because I'm constantly trying to make different builds, but just the drops are what the drops are. And you kind of have to adapt to it, and I love that.
That's the thing, is like your build changes every loop as a rogue, because it's based on what you get at the campfire. And like one of the best cards, if you ever get it, if you run again, take this card, Ross. There's a card that reduces the number of items you get from trophies, but increases the quality. That is like, I saw that once and I didn't take it, and then I read it again the second time, and I was like, oh my god, I need this. And
because by the time you get to the end of the loop, sometimes you have more stuff than, so some stuff will just automatically be forgotten.
Well, no. But the good thing though, Ross, is that stuff that you lose, the overflow, turns into resources.
No, yeah.
So that's the trade-off, is you're losing resources. So like you only want to take that if you're trying to kill the boss. But if you're just resourcing, honestly, it's better not to take it.
Yeah. So
because you want those resources.
So you only have 9 inventory slots, and as you get more things,
11 as a rogue. 11 as a rogue. 12 as everybody
12
else.
Is everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So as new equipment comes and your inventory is full, the stuff at the bottom will be cycled out and converted into metal, which is a resource you need to make buildings. But also, the same is true for the cards in your hand that come up. If you let the cards overflow, you get things, a resource that goes toward Book of Memories, which once you have the library, you can spend those resources on like lore, basically, on like the enemies in the game, the structures. Like there's a lot of lore in that library for everything in that game, which is super cool. It's just unexpected. A lot of that game is unexpected, and like I definitely don't think, in terms of it being the Hades of this year, it's definitely not going to win that many awards as Hades did.
No, it definitely will not. But I'm just talking in terms of like the indie game we're going to talk about right now. Loop Hero is that game.
Yeah. So that game is great.
Loop Hero is probably the suzerain if I'm being honest. It's just getting a lot more recognition than Suzerain ever did, because Suzerain still has not gone mainstream, but that game is still immaculate. And that game will never get the recognition it deserves, but Loop Hero is getting it, and so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, Loop Hero. Next on my list for a game that came out this year is Noja, that Danganronpa-esque game for Switch.
I have that.
We talked about
I have
that
to play
time.
it.
Yeah, I need to start.
Did that come out this year?
It did. It did come out this year because I looked. It came out. It came out in.
I have to play
March,
that still.
I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. I have to play that because I bought it when it was on sale like a week or two ago, or like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I hate it because I bought the Switch Lite to like bring around, but I realized I wasn't using it, so now I'm just playing everything on my normal Switch again, just hooked up to the TV, and I'm like, oh god, now I have the Switch Lite that's not doing anything. So if anybody wants to buy a Switch Lite, hit me up.
It looks like I think Noja came out in the West this year. It's the first time it's been translated.
Counts for us.
Counts for us.
So. Counts for us.
But yeah, Loop Hero was your segment actually. Do you have other stuff
we're good, man. Like we're both in on that. I do have Nier Replicant. Have not started it yet. I
want to play that.
Have not had I have not had the time where I'm like, yo, I want to dedicate this time. Maybe tomorrow. So maybe next week I will have something to say on Nier Replicant. I want to play that game. I also bought Returnal and Ratchet and Clank today, so that should be fun.
Yep.
2 days away from Returnal.
Also want to play Returnal. Oh man.
God damn. But the other games I have been playing, Apex and Destiny, Bravely Default 2. That's what I was trying to remember. I have been playing more Bravely Default 2. I am kind of slowly making my way through that game. I like that game a lot. Yeah?
Making my way.
Do.
And I need you.
Do. And I miss you.
Perfect. Even with the delay, you guys were perfectly in time there.
Yo, we got it. You remember the Baby Shark thing. Nat and I always have it down. Okay. But yeah, I really like Bravely Default 2. It's like it's a classic kind of JRPG, you know? And I fought like the first kind of big boss, and I definitely over leveled because I have no problem grinding in those games. So I was over leveled, and I'm fighting that boss, and it still was tough. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, it was easy. But like, it's funny because against like regular enemies, I just like, so there's a mechanic. There's Brave and Default. Go figure, you know? So Brave is basically you're buying turns in advance. So you're basically front loading. You're like, okay, so I've got these turns. I'm going to take 3 extra turns to get 4 attacks in on this one turn. But that means that for the next 3 turns, that character can't take any actions. So, you're doing that, and then you're kind of figuring out, okay, is it worth it to go all in right now to like kill this one boss? And then this guy's going to get pissed, and he's probably going to hit me with something hard. And against normal enemies, I just go all in, and it doesn't matter. But against like the bosses, you got to be more calculated. Like maybe you so like you might start by defaulting banks a turn, so that you can use that later. So like you could bank enough turns where you can just be like, okay, I'm going to attack 4 times, but it's only going to count as 1 turn, and then boom, boom, boom. But you're sacrificing damage prior to that. So it's this constant balance of braving and defaulting. And, some of your weaker characters, you got to be like, okay, this dude's definitely going to attack next turn. I want to make sure this person doesn't die because he one-shot her before, so she is going to default. And then this guy's going to go brave. This dude's going to just do 1. This dude's just going to do 1. And then, you're always thinking every turn. Because the thing is you command all 4 of your characters at the beginning of each turn. And then the battles play out. So, no, I'm sorry. You commit all 4 of your commands. It is character by character. So, like, one of your characters can go, then an enemy can go, then you can go. But you're dictating all 4 of those attacks if you're going brave or whatever the case may be. So, like, you're basically you're assuming, like, boy, if this guy kills this person, it's worth it. But if they don't, this is really bad. And so there are times where that will not work out in my favor, and I will not be as over-leveled as I am. But it sure is fun. And there's this great mechanic. I'm doing it right now. Once you beat the first boss, you unlock this boat. This old lady that you save early in the game, if you explore the world map a little bit, she tries to give you this boat. And what it is it's basically like an idle game. So you start an expedition, and then you put your Switch to sleep. And for 12 hours, that boat's going to go around. And you're going to meet other people. Like, it's got some weird, like, online connectivity stuff. So you meet other people's characters and stuff like that. But you also find items. And a lot of them are, like, XP items or, like, job point items. And so you're constantly, like, doing that. And so, like, the thing is, like, before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to go in, clear out my expedition, start a new one. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow afternoon, clear out that expedition, start a new one. Because the thing is, I'm going to start stockpiling when I'm not playing all these points that I can just be like, okay, I got a new job. I want to get this thing like 5 levels deep. Let me just put a bunch of job point orbs, into it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to stack myself early, you know?
Yeah.
And like the jobs, it's cool because like they get a lot of passive skills, and like the basic job, like the freelancer at the end has like a bonus thing where you get additional job point XP like every time you earn it. So like I have a character who I know is going to be really strong. They're going to become a white mage. I got another character who's going to be like a tank guy, but I have to max out the freelancer first so they get these bonuses. So then when I switch jobs, they still get those bonuses. I had one dude who was a black mage. I changed him over so he could get all the bonus stuff. So like you're constantly like changing your characters between jobs to make sure like, okay, you got to get all these buffs that I need you to have. It's cool. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. The first game, the job system was that, and the combat carried that game. Like it was phenomenal. I just couldn't get into the story, and that has to be there for me for a JRPG.
But, yeah, the story. I'm the warrior of light. Is basically what it is. Yeah. Basically, like my guy died. I guess like this is still early. It's his first boss. This is like you could do this in 2 hours. I did it in like 4 because I grinded. I just walk around the map because I have a problem. Okay, this game has grass, and you can cut this grass, and the grass drops items. Sometimes it's 2 pieces of things. Sometimes it's a new axe. Sometimes it's like a crazy good item. You don't know unless you cut all the goddamn grass. And so I'm cutting the fucking grass like it's my job. And so you do that. And I'm just like, any enemy I find, like they run away from me now, but I'll chase them down. I'll just be like, no, come here. But yeah, so like you basically like your character died. He was a sailor. And I guess like his ship got like destroyed. So he died, and then this crystal is talking to you, and it's like, yeah, I brought you back here. I brought you here. It's basically like Final Fantasy X. He gets pulled in. He's in a different world, kind of. Not exactly Final Fantasy X, but you get the idea. And then like there's this cool thing where the crystal is like, hey, so, you know, you can choose the path of most resistance, or you could choose to just be done. And like, if you don't make a choice, it's just a game over. Like the guy's just like, look, if you would rather be dead and not have to do this, that's cool. And then like you go and do the crystal, and he's like, you want to tread this difficult path. You're making this choice. And he's just like, that is fucking brave of you, because this is not going to be easy. And like, it was a cool little moment. And I was just like, all right, like it's not really a choice because you got to do it if you want to play the game. But it was a cool little thing of like, you know, kind of making that investment for me of like, yeah, no, I'm choosing this life.
Right.
And that got me a little more invested.
Nice.
The characters are charming. I'm not always crazy about like the chibi art style, but I actually think they do a really good job in this game. Like the way the characters look, they're not like too chibi. Like they look really good, and like watching them talk and move is really nice. And it's kind of like, you know, like little. It's kind of like watching little minifigures move around and stuff, you know? It's a very charming game, and it's got a really good style to it. I am very much looking forward to playing more of it.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much the extent of my time right now. I kind of been, you know, falling back on my well-tread ground. I just, you know, it was a week, you know, played some familiar stuff, but
Yeah.
I definitely have a lot of stuff I gotta get caught up on. A lot of
Feel
games
that.
I need to get caught up on. I made a list, and I'm checking it every goddamn
Lists are
day.
useful.
Yeah, I have a Google Keep list now of all the games that I have started that I need to like finish from like the last couple of months. Let me see. Yeah, games I need to play and finish in 2021. Cyberpunk, Hitman 3, Evil Genius 2, Loop Hero, Outriders, Bravely Default 2, Monster Hunter Rise, Persona 5 Strikers, forgot about that. The Medium, I played just enough time on that game to not be able to refund. I don't like that game, but I'm going to finish it. I still need to finish The Medium, and now I need to add Returnal to that.
Yep.
Add to that list.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nier. I'm sorry.
And Nier.
Fuck
I was
me.
like, there's one I'm forgetting too.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, really want to play Nier, and I really want to play Returnal, and I really don't have the money for either of those right now.
I'm really excited for Returnal. I've heard nothing but good things. And then the moment, like, Ross was joking because I bought the deluxe edition of Ratchet and Clank because I was like, look, I like this game. I want those suits. I want that soundtrack. It's $10 more. I don't care. And then he was like, I thought you said you bought the deluxe edition of Returnal. And then I'm looking at it. I'm like, I am actually buying the deluxe edition of Returnal because, like, the moment I saw,
What is Returnal even?
It's Housemark. So the people who made like Nex Machina, they made Dead Nation, Alien Nation, they made Super Stardust,
Resogun,
Resogun. They made a ton of fucking games. Dead Nation might still be my favorite game they ever made, and it is not their best game, but I fucking love that game.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's such a good game. Bring that to PS5.
Returnal's basically a AAA
bullet hell horror game.
Roguelite. Yeah.
Horror roguelite bullet hell.
Yeah. With like an
third person action.
Yeah. Third person shooter. Yeah. It is the first truly
like next gen looking game so far. Like everybody's talking about Ratchet and Clank, and then everybody started getting their hands. They sent out early copies of Returnal to press, and they started letting them talk about it. And everybody is like, "Holy shit, Returnal is good." Yeah. Like nobody knew what to expect, and I have not seen one negative thing said about Returnal.
Friday?
Yeah. I have not seen one negative thing said about Returnal. And I know there's that stigma of, well, of course not. They got the early copies, but that hasn't stopped people from being critical. Look at Balan Wonderland. Everybody got that early, and they were just like, yo, this game sucks.
That's supposed to be. I feel like that was supposed to be, what you call it, a phone game that they like just tried to upscale last second.
Yeah, they tried to market it by saying it's from, I think it was from Yuji Naka, the creator of Sonic.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. But
and the art direction of Knights.
Yeah. But
Returnal looks real good.
Yeah, and it's like I've been hesitant about it, to be perfectly honest, since they announced it, because all they've done are these like arcade style games, and the fact that this is going to be like $70, like full price, like quote unquote next gen game, I was like, I don't know. And then I watched, and then like
after their battle royale game fizzled, you know, that was the thing. I liked Storm Divers what I played of it, but like once that fizzled, but then like somebody said it, and like, you know, it was just like this is Returnal is the game, is what it looks like when you give Housemark a AAA budget.
Yeah.
It's a Housemark game with a AAA budget. This is what this is the game they would make for $70, and like I have not a single fucking bad thing said about it.
Yeah, it's the other day I actually they were letting press do like 45-minute gameplay videos of it, and I watched one, and I was like, yeah, like I'm not a big horror guy, but it seems like that's not enough of the focus to where it would be a problem, and the fact that you can obviously defend yourself. It helps.
That always makes it better. That's the only reason I ever finished Dead Space, is because I had a gun and I knew how to use it.
So I'm very excited to get Returnal, and I really want to get Nier Replicant, because it's not the version we got here in the West, or at least in North America. We got the version where it's the girl's father. Yeah, the father instead of the brother, and all the gameplay improvements to bring it more in line with Automata, which was a big complaint originally when the game was released, just how clunky it is. And part of the jank is still there because I think that's part of the charm. But I haven't seen a ton of the game, but I've seen enough to know it does the switching game genres like Automata did, but like to the extreme with like ridiculous genres.
I've also
I'm
heard
very
it fills
excited.
in a lot of gaps for Automata. Like
Yeah, because it takes place like I think hundreds of years before Automata,
yeah,
before the humans are extinct.
but there are characters in that game apparently that appear in Automata.
Okay.
And there are events that take place in that game that are referenced in Automata.
Oh, okay. That's
So
cool.
like they designed Nier Automata with the idea of like, yo, like we don't care if you didn't play those games. We're still going to talk about them. And I'm waiting for those moments of being like, yo, that was from the game.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want. Like, because
Yeah.
I never played Nier prior to that. And I loved that game. I defended that game in the Jennies.
Yeah, it's true.
And
it's so weird to think
I'm,
that's an offshoot of one of the endings of a Drakengard game from PS2.
yeah, it is like, yeah, it was like the third ending or something, the fourth ending of the first Drakengard. And it was just like, imagine like if you just did that.
Yeah, so weird. But
and you just made a whole other game series about it because some god died apparently.
Yeah, so I need to make a choice this week. This is a pay week for me, so I need to make a choice which one I pick up first.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now I know.
Yes.
Listen, just fully hear me out here.
Okay.
I know you probably want to get this on your PlayStation. I can get you a better price on Nier on PC.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say.
Fair.
That's all I'm going to say. I can help your wallet.
Mm-hmm. I'll talk to you after this.
I can maybe get you as much as 20% off of that game.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay.
So there's a conversation to be had.
Yeah. So even with that, I still don't know which one I want first.
Yeah. No, fair enough. But I'm just saying with that one, I can get you a good price on that.
Like I'm already playing a roguelite and Loop Hero, but I've also over the past 2 or 3 years come to realize that roguelites might be my favorite genre of games.
I've been saying it, man.
I know. No, you're right, man. You're right. You should play more
Matt's
Hades.
just been waiting for someone to listen. Yeah. Imagine Matt's the one who's saying it. Didn't play one of the best ones ever made all the way yet.
I played Hades. The problem is there's a lot to do with that game, and I haven't gotten good enough at it where I could play it like without thinking. So it's not to the point.
Just put on the shield, man. Just put on that shield and just go to town.
The shield isn't fun in my opinion. I really like the spear. I like the spear gameplay a lot.
There's an attack on my person.
The shield is like the most new player friendly. I think that's the weapon most players clear their first run on.
Stop trying to make me feel bad, Ross. I like the shield.
It's fine. No, man, it's a fun weapon. My first,
I know. I'm fucking
first,
with you.
My first clear was randomly the gun, so I don't talk to me about anything. I don't know.
I beat the first boss, but I haven't beat the game yet.
Yeah.
I just can't I can't play it in zone out. You know what I mean? That's the only problem. It's because and it's more so because there's so much going on, which is a good thing. I feel like I should have got that game on Switch and I would play it more, but who knows? I probably just left it there. I mean, I really don't want to buy the game again.
That's fair. I mean, it is relatively cheap and it does have cross save. See, Nier has a definitive beginning, middle, and end. Returnal has a beginning, middle, and end, but based on my skill.
So Ross, for what it's worth,
okay.
Do you want me to tell you information I have heard about kind of completing Nier Replicant?
Sure.
Okay, this is not spoiler or anything. There are only 3 endings, unlike the 26 you could get in Automata.
Sure.
There are only 3 endings, back to back to back. No, 3. Well, I mean, there is a true like final ending apparently. So I haven't read anything about it. All I have read is that don't skip any side quests that award weapons.
Okay.
And as long as you do those, you can get the definitive ending. Is my understanding. And you only need to play it 3 times to do it.
And looking at everyone's favorite website, howlongtobeat.com, looks like it's around 15-ish hours for the main story, not including, I think, the multiple endings. So that seems more.
Yeah, that's about
more
because
doable.
Automata was about like 40 something. If you did like mid 30s to 40, if you did all 5.
I believe so. Yeah.
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 So it won't be too bad.
I think I might do Replicant first before Returnal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna be
Buy
the
it where
play
you
for me,
want
I
it,
think.
but just know I got the hookup if you need it.
Gotcha. It's like I don't know, to be honest, what would run it better, my PS5 or my PC.
Well, remember it's a PS4 game,
Yeah, but
so it's gonna run fine on either one.
gotcha. Oh yeah,
It's gonna
yeah.
run the same on either one. Honestly,
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's that.
Yeah. Now I pulled a couple things. I don't know if we want to go too much, but I know you were talking about the Game Pass stuff. Both Sony and Microsoft released some financial stuff. I don't know if we want to get into that or if we want to talk about some like news stuff first. I want to talk a little bit about what they talked about in Apex today.
Dealer's choice.
Not in today, but I want to talk about Apex. So they announced a bunch of new stuff for Apex that are coming out this coming week with their new season. Fucking oh my god. So they dropped a whole bunch of stuff in addition to Valkyrie. We talked about Valkyrie last week. They're bringing Titanfall lore into Apex. Valkyrie looks dope because she can actually like fly in the air. She can fire missiles and stuff, and she can do like the launch tower thing, the launch balloon, the redeployment. So that stuff's really cool. The biggest thing though that they're adding is the arenas. So they're adding go Knicks. They're adding a 3v3 basically versus mode. So it's like a blend of kind of like Trials from Destiny, the 3v3 elimination, and Counter-Strike. So what they're doing is you pick your champions just like normal. And everybody drops into this small kind of enclosed-ish arena. And it's basically just the team fights of Apex. There's no risk of third party or anything like that. But you drop in, you pick your characters, and then you get currency to buy weapons and armor and health items and shields and stuff like that. So you basically buy your loadout. And then you dictate, okay, do I want to buy attachments? Do I want to put more money into armor? Are these guys playing farther out? Like, do I want to snipe? Do I want to play close? So you're basically building to how your team wants to play. It's the first team to 3 wins with a 2-win advantage. Or if it's a 4-4 tie, there's a sudden death. So it's multiple rounds. They've got a bunch of maps. They got, some of them are based on locations from the existing maps, but a bunch of them are brand new locations that have never, been seen before. And from what Respawn has said, they plan to keep this mode going as its own separate thing. This is not a limited time mode. This is a new mode that stands equal with the Battle Royale. So I'm really excited because this sounds like a good mode to just kind of get in like, I want to practice my fighting.
Yeah. It's,
I want to get in there, fight people. That sounds like it's going to be a good warm up, get in there, get some fights in, and then jump into the Battle Royale and get some wins,
Yeah. And I'm not a big BR guy, but this mode makes me more interested in Apex than I have been in a while. So
I think Apex is shooting like Apex is kind of like my competitive game right now. I've kind of come to terms with the fact that Destiny just ain't it for competitive, and I still play it, but it's like I don't get the satisfaction. Don't act like you've been saying it's not what it is. It's not what it is. I'm just not going there to play casual multiplayer. You just pointed and you were like, it's like I told you.
That's all I said. Think about it.
No. I still like Trials and stuff. I just don't like the regular multiplayer, like the 6v6 and stuff like that. The meta is just bad. Stasis was a bad idea. I have solidified my stance that Stasis was a mistake and it is bad for the game. But I digress. Apex, the shooting feels great. I think the game just feels great. I like playing Apex. I've been playing really well at Apex. My KD is going up. My win rate is up. Like I've gotten like 50 something wins this season in Apex, and like I've had games where I'm dropping 10 kills, 12 kills. I've got games where I'm dropping 2,000, 2,100 damage, 2,300 damage. Just like I've got games where I'm wiping 3 squads. I'm just rolling in and I'm like 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. Let's go. Heal up. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. Let's go. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. Done. Game. Like Apex is so much fun right now. It is. I really feel like Respawn is going for like the number 1 spot with this. I feel like they're like, yo, our battle royale is already competitive, but now we've got a mode for people who don't, who may not be invested in the battle royale, but want to play a game made by Respawn, want to play a multiplayer shooter made by Respawn. Now we have a mode for that. And they're probably hoping that, hey, those people are going to jump in and want to play the battle royale just as much as they're hoping the battle royale people are going to want to jump in and play that. But they're going to be 2 updated modes, and they're gonna be updated simultaneously. So the Apex Legends is a 2-mode game. There's no longer just a battle royale game. This mode is here to stay, and I'm for it. I'm real excited. Like, they're doing a lot of cool changes to the map. They're rotating in and out some weapons from like care packages and stuff like that. I've been getting really into sniping in Apex, which is crazy because I'm always bad at sniping, but they're taking my favorite sniper and they're putting it in the care packages, which is bad for me because I need it. I need it to be effective, but I will learn. I will adapt. But yeah, Apex has been the most fun I've had playing games kind of this year. And I've even switched. I've become a Mirage main. I don't know what it is. I used to be a Lifeline main. Then I was a Loba for a long time. And then I went back to Lifeline. And then I just started playing Mirage. And one, he's just so charming because I could just talk about, bamboozling people all day. But I tell you what, I kill more squads as Mirage, like just me downing 3 people, than any other champion in that game or any other legend in that game. I don't know what it is. It's just I get in a zone with Mirage. And I'm having a great time.
Yeah, we're meant for each other.
Apex has not felt this good since it came out. Like, Apex is in a great place right now. I love this game. I'm having a fantastic time playing it. I get frustrated in solos sometimes just because, people don't pay attention and stuff like that. But that's that's like solo random matchmaking, not solo queue. They still don't have that, luckily. But like, it has those frustrating moments. Russell and Chad's just saying both Nat and I are just sitting here listening, eating chips. What a great time. But yeah, I am singing Apex's praises from the tallest peak of the tallest mountain. I'm loving that game right now. And this new season, like, just is amplifying that excitement for me.
It's cool, man.
So let me pull. I'm gonna pull this first. So, Daniel Ahmad, he works for. I've talked about him before. He's a senior analyst at Nico Partners or Nico Partners. I don't know how you would say that. So he covers a lot of video games market, primarily in like China and Asia, but he gets a lot of like analyst data, stuff like that. So Sony released earnings from their game and network segment, game and network services. They just a couple like big numbers here. They spent 1.3 billion on R&D costs in the fiscal year ending in March 31st of this year. Spent 1.3 billion, and a good chunk of that was obviously for the PlayStation 5 and first party software and stuff. So Sony actually expects increased revenue from first-party titles thanks to PlayStation 5. And in the last fiscal year, they sold almost 60 million first-party games, 58.4 million first-party games in between April 1st of 2019, or excuse me, of 2020 to March 31st of 2021. They sold almost 60 million games, just first-party. they did see they had a decrease. They had an increase in hardware unit sales, and they had actually an increase based on like foreign exchange rates. They had a decrease in sales of non-first party titles, which was kind of surprising. And their mobile game division made like $1.3 billion because Sony Music has a mobile game division. I think the crazy thing here is that obviously the PlayStation 4 is end of life, or is it at the end of its life cycle. It has sold 116 million consoles. And despite selling less than the PS2, it has sold more software overall because of digital.
Yeah.
It has sold more games than the PS2, which
nuts.
sold over 150 million consoles. Like, that was a surprising number. Here's an equally surprising number. The PlayStation 5 is outpacing the PlayStation 4 in sales. It has sold 7.8 million units compared to 7.6 million in the same time frame.
And that's with a supply shortage and a pandemic.
I lost Nat. He's falling asleep. Business talk. Like, that was the big thing that I was like, holy shit. Like, they still made a profit. Here's the other thing. They did lose money. They are selling the PS5 at a loss. That was the other big thing. They're selling the PlayStation 5 at a loss. So that's, there was a lot of questions of, how was Sony going to make that money? Were they going to sell at a loss? They did confirm that they are selling it at a loss. Microsoft also released some numbers, and gaming revenue was up 50%. Xbox content and services, which includes Game Pass, grew 34%. And was driven by like third-party titles and stuff. But that also includes Bethesda, I believe. And Xbox hardware revenue grew 232%, driven by Series X and S.
Wow. It's a big percent.
Yeah. So
and again, all these like successful console numbers are with a supply shortage and a pandemic, which is crazy.
Yeah. So like there is a graph basically showing just like the millions in revenue. So like their hardware revenue in Q1 of 2020 was like minuscule. Their hardware revenue now, based on their total gaming revenue, like that was like less than like 10% back last year. This year, it's probably about 20% of their content and services revenue, which I think is a huge deal considering kind of where they're coming from in terms of hardware sales performance. The last thing I wanted to check out here, the demand is obviously higher than the supply for Series X and S. Minecraft's monthly average users is at 140 million. And that is up 30% year over year.
Jesus.
Minecraft is that game.
I know, but it's just...
It's a lot.
Xbox growth is being driven both on and off console. Game Pass growth is being driven by content, and the Bethesda deal plays into that, plus partnerships with third parties. Minecraft creators have made 300 million from over 1 billion downloads of mods through the game store.
Jesus.
So like everybody is making money on Xbox right now. Yeah. Like there is not a soul on that platform not making money, which I thought was just insane. Like, talk about coming full circle. Everybody's buying games right now. Everybody is doing gangbusters in gaming right now, and that's good. I'm happy for that. Obviously, Microsoft doesn't report numbers on console sold anymore, but I would imagine that if Sony's at around 8 million, I would imagine between the X and S, they're probably not far off, if not right there, honestly.
Series
because the
S and Series X, please.
No.
I have an Xbox One S. Boom. It doesn't run things well anymore.
The Xbox Series consoles.
There we go.
I imagine are both doing extremely well because the Series S has been available for purchase in a lot of places. So that console has been one that doesn't sell out in minutes. So you've been able to go onto a website and buy that.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine they're selling a lot of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, out of everything else, Microsoft's adding FPS boosts to a bunch of EA games, including Titanfall 2, which has seen a resurgence on Steam. Its highest player count ever on Steam was last week because it was on sale.
Is great.
And I rebought it.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't I?
If you like a good campaign, buy that game.
If you like a good game, buy that game.
Buy that game.
The game is just good.
Yeah.
One might say, HalfGen.com, I believe, called it the most underappreciated game of the generation.
It's true.
Sponsored by Titanfall 2. Yep. The Titanfall 2 award.
Yep. Don't pay attention to Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It's just 6 feet under, over in the corner, where it should be. Anyway.
A lesser sequel.
Next story.
I don't know if we want to go through. It's not a ton. I can just kind of hit these real quick. Sony is still devising a cloud strategy that is going to be unique to Sony, or unique to PlayStation. But they are doing it with Microsoft. Remember that partnership they signed like a year-ish ago, maybe a little longer than that. It was a deal for like cloud services. They had like a handshake agreement, a memorandum of understanding, I think is what it was called, or something. They're following through on that. So it sounds like Azure will be powering the future of PlayStation cloud gaming.
Makes sense.
Also, Sony is testing, I believe in Poland, there's a PlayStation Plus video pass, which has a bunch of Sony movies, including like Spider-Man and stuff like that. That's apparently something that's going to be included with PlayStation Plus as like a nice value add. So I'm not opposed to it, but a lot of people are running stories like, PlayStation's answer to Game Pass is Video Pass. And it's like, I disagree. But, I think they're trying to make a story that isn't there. But that's a potential value add, and I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation Now is going to be getting support for 1080p streams. Currently, you can only stream at 720 on PlayStation Now, so you will be able to stream at 1080p, which I think that's good. PlayStation Now is currently capped at 720. xCloud is currently capped at 720, but is testing 1080. Stadia can go up to 4K, and Amazon Luna is 1080. And then, what's it called? I think GeForce Now, you can like pick your resolution. I don't know. But yeah, I think PlayStation Now, I actually signed up for PlayStation Now because I realized I could play Metal Gear Solid 4. And I tried that on my PC a couple weeks ago, and it ran fine. I couldn't tell if it looked not as good as I remembered because it was a stream or because it was a PS3 game, and I haven't played it in a decade. But, who knows, really? Could be both. Game. I don't know. Yep. But I wanted to be able to play Metal Gear Solid 4 again. So I was like, fuck it, let's try this. The last thing, People Can Fly, developers of Outriders, bought a studio in Chicago who hasn't done a lot. But now there's People Can Fly Chicago. So they're obvious. Outriders is doing well enough that they bought another studio.
I hope that studio can help them fucking get their login screen right.
I was waiting for that. Thank you.
It's just it's just a trigger.
Man. But
and then if you don't have anything else, I have the May games for PlayStation Plus and Games with Gold.
Okay, cool. I figured you were going to pull those.
Yeah. So, for PlayStation Plus for the month of May, all available starting May 4th. For PS4, you have Stranded Deep and Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 being the most recent Battlefield game, which is cool. And for PS5, you get Wreckfest, which is the PS5, I believe, upgraded version that they were going to charge about an extra $10 for. So
that is a very good game. That is arguably the best game on offer this month.
Yeah, I'm excited. I never played Wreckfest, but I've heard great things about it.
I like it a lot.
I'm excited to play it. Yeah,
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
You could do like a Destruction Derby mode, with riding mowers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And then for games with gold, available for the entire month of May is Armello. And then from May 16th to June 15th, Dungeons 3 is available. And then not super familiar with it. In terms
do you remember Evil Genius?
Yeah.
It's like that, but like medieval.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And then for Xbox 360 back compat Game Pass games, from May 1st through the 15th is Lego Batman, the original game. And then from May 16th to May 31st is Tropico 4.
Tropico 4 is not the most recent Tropico, nor is it the second most recent Tropico.
But it's still probably good.
I'm pretty sure it was a 360
from oldest Tropico.
No, that's what I was saying. Yeah, it's
okay.
The last two were the back compat 360.
Got it. Okay, yeah.
Games with gold games.
So that'll tell you how recent Tropico 4 is. But Tropico is a fun game, and for what it's worth, I played 3 on the 360 and had no issues. So I imagine 4 would run about the same, especially on newer hardware.
$79, $96 in value with 4,000 in gamer score. I always like to read that.
Always the gamer score that matters. Russell in the chat did ask about the Lord of the Rings MMO that got canceled. We actually talked about that last week. But yeah, that was the Amazon one that was being worked on that got canceled. Still
Amazon
no additional details on that, but
yeah,
the show is still going on, I guess. They're still making Lord of the Rings for
they are.
Prime Video.
Yeah.
Which I won't use because they won't stop they won't stop blocking me from my cart to tell me about it.
I'm excited.
Do you know you have Prime Video? Did you know I don't care?
The Critical Role animated series is supposed to hit sometime this year, which I'm excited about. Anyway, that's the podcast.
There's gonna be a lot of games. There was a lot of games to talk about this week. There's gonna be a lot of games to talk about. There's gonna be a lot to unpack, Ross. If we're both playing near, we're gonna have to talk.
yeah, we will.
Nat just wants to get out. How are the Knicks doing? Did they win, or is it still going?
Still going. Third quarter, 56-48. Knicks up.
All right.
But this is one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. The Knicks keep turning the ball over, but so is the Bulls, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And we're missing
down
easy
to
shots.
Their opponent.
The third quarter for the Celtics game just started, and Celtics are ahead of the Hornets 58-47.
Yeah, win, man.
That's your basketball.
Both our teams are winning. For anybody watching, the HalfGen podcast roots for the Knicks and the Celtics. And then casually, but not seriously, roots for the Lakers because I'm not invested enough to care. But if I, the Lakers would be my team if I did. Rest in peace, Kobe. That's all I got. Anybody got anything? We put all our videos up. Evil Genius should be up. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, why do they keep letting Elfrid Payton drive into the fucking paint? Bench him.
The romp around Evil Genius 2 should be up around the same time as this being up on podcast sites and stuff in your feed. Don't forget to check out Loop Hero. That went up late last week or early this week. Yeah, I think it went up Sunday.
I think so.
If I remember
Sunday
correctly.
Yeah.
So check out those romps. We're going to record one for Avengers, hopefully this week, and hopefully record a couple more. We're trying to get at least one up for you every week. So, definitely come hang out, enjoy that. Subscribe to the YouTube, search HalfGen.
And next week or either early next week or late this week, I have an article I'm working on about my recent experiences with Game Pass, kind of a lot of what I talked about here during the podcast, but just kind of my thoughts on the page. So
do you want to just double up? You do Friday, I can do Thursday, and I can put up my Xbox one.
Yeah.
Let's make it an Xbox week. We had a Sony week last week. Let's make it Xbox this week.
That works.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Cool. So we should have 2 Xbox articles coming up this week. So check those out. Please enjoy them. We liked writing them. Yeah, we hope you enjoy reading them. This has been another episode of HalfGen Podcast. Thank you all for being here. Nat, Ross, thank you guys for being here. Always a pleasure. We'll catch you on the next one. Later.
See you.